What's up, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How y'all doing this morning? How's everybody? How's everybody doing this morning? Hit that share button. Come on. You know how we do it. It's Jumpstart Live time. It is Jumpstart Live time. I hope y'all are well this morning. This brisk Tuesday morning. Welcome to those of you who are joining us by YouTube, to those of you who are joining us by Facebook, whatever outlet you're joining us. Welcome to Jumpstart Live. Hey, Mama, how are you, ma'am? What's up, Brother Edward? It's Christy. I'm good, Miss Joyce. Thank you for asking. What's up, Nikki and Tabitha, Miss Denise, Mike, Holly Bowman, Miss Angela? Come on, hit that share button. Hey, Miss Simone. Hey, Miss Mary. While we wait for the other folks to catch up, hit that share button. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us this morning. Really do. Hey, Miss Christy Warren, how are you, ma'am? I hope you're well. Uh, Hope everybody's well. Uh, let's dive into it. Uh, let's dive into it, man. We've been talking about dating without drama. Pastor, why are you hanging out on this? Because I realize that half of community church, about half of community church, are single people, and we have quite a few single people, man, who come every Sunday morning. I don't want to be in a situation where we are not ministering to their need, where we're not meeting you where you are. And so, like for my married folks, I would ask that you not check out, but that you hang out. Uh, I've had several married folks tell me that they even learned from what we've been talking about as it relates to dating, and there are principles that they can apply to their marriage. Uh, the dating world is so crazy, as I understand it. Uh, Dating is but why is it so crazy, Pastor? Well, we got to look at that. Uh, I think part of the reason why it's dating is because why it's crazy is because of how we treat it. And I'm not talking about how they treat it. I'm talking about you got to look at me and say, like, how do I treat this? Am I getting it? If we're honest, we we don't treat it right. That's why we end up in the wrong place. Like dating, you can't blame other people for how your dating life is going if you're willing to read 100 Amazon reviews before you buy a $19 phone charger, but won't ask three questions before you give somebody your heart. Come on, you on Amazon? Like, hold on, I got to research this. Is it fast charge? Is it Apple certified? Is it? Come on, is what's the warranty on a $19 phone charger? But you approach dating like, oh, she cute. Let's see what happens. Come on, somebody. Come on. You'll literally research a hamburger more than you research. You all online looking for who got the best hamburger in town. And then you pull up to the hamburger joint and you be like, does it come with pickles? Can I get it with no onions? Come on, somebody. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, Nikki. You're looking for 5 stars. You only want 5-star hamburgers. 5-star hamburgers. But you're not willing to come on to research who you dating and you surprised that that's that is you are not eating cow, you eating crow. Somebody say, here you go already. I'm just saying, and we blame other people for what we end up with, but the truth is, like, we end up with what we end up with because we and married folks we're not exempt because I said already, like we spend all of this time like researching honeymoon sites and spend way more time preparing for the marriage ceremony for the wedding than we spend preparing for the marriage. Come on, somebody. Huh? Way more time. We'll marry somebody without asking where you headed, what do you want, can you communicate? Yeah, Miss Simone, emu meat. Huh? We're not asking no where you headed, what do you want, who you serve, who's your guy, none of that. What's your credit score? None of that. But now you on Facebook Marketplace looking for a couch, asking more questions about the couch than you ask about do it have any stains? Has it been smoked on? Any pets? Are you the first owner? If you don't pay for that $25 couch, what you what you think you gonna get for $25? I'm trying to teach you how to do it without the drama, man. Because listen, a lot of the drama is not because people are crazy. A lot of the drama is because we are unclear. We are vague. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. We don't want to talk. We don't want to define anything. And I want to say this. I'm gonna say it again. I said it on Sunday. I'm gonna say Bible says that God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. So if your dating life or your marriage is full of confusion, God is not authoring that. Come on. That's not coming from God. If your marriage is full of confusion, that's not coming from God. Come on, God is testing us. No, He's not. You testing y'all. Come on. If your dating life is full of confusion. Now, some people hear confusion and they think it means, but they like, but Pastor, I feel something. Listen, 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 listen. If you are in the dating phase, confusion is a warning label. You first of all, you got to stop calling mess mystery. Come on. It it's not mystery. It's unclear. If you keep living in confusion, you're gonna keep sitting in drama because confusion creates room for assumptions, and assumptions is how our heart gets hurt. What makes dating confusing, Pastor? Well, first of all, dating got confusing because we started treating people like products. We shop for people. Think about it. And I'm not knocking online dating. There are people who are very happily married who met online. But I'm just saying, it we shop for humans. We swiping on humans, clicking on humans. And the thing about it is the down, and yes, it gives you access to more people, but here's the downside of it. It also, whenever you have more access to anything, your mind almost can't help but think there's always something better on the next aisle over. So instead of honoring what we have, we focus on the option. Instead, that's why instead of commitment, we get comparison. And comparison will always be the enemy of commitment. Woo. Come on. Whenever I got something to compare what I already have to, I'm much less likely to stay committed to what I have. That's a word for some married folks. You jacked up and messed up and unsettled and discontent with your spouse because of what you're comparing them to. Come on, somebody. It's not that they're that bad. It's that you keep looking at the next aisle over. You're comparing them to other people. Lord have mercy. And comparison will always be the enemy of commitment. Come on. What do I do? Quit comparing. Why are you comparing them to anybody else? Another reason is because we made access cheap. That's why it's so messed up. Access is cheap. We started letting culture define how we do this thing. And culture says, give your body, give your time, give your attention, give your emotions, and give it quick. And give it without any level of commitment. So now people want relationship benefits with no relationship responsibility. Lord have mercy. Another reason is because we've replaced conversation with convenience. Listen, texting is easy. It takes courage to face you and say what I got to say. It takes courage to look you in your eyes and tell you what's on my mind. And if somebody is immature, they would rather text so that they can keep it vague than have an adult grown person conversation. Lord have mercy, Jesus. And if you can't look me in my eye and tell me what you have to tell me and say what you have to say, you need to question whether or not you ought to be saying it. Another reason why is because we've normalized dishonesty. We say what sounds safe instead of saying what's true. We say what we think will not be judged as opposed to what we know will be true. We don't want to be judged, and we don't want anybody to think we're making ourselves the judge. And so we avoid the truth to stay in safe places. Woo! But doesn't the Bible say that you shouldn't judge other people? Listen, that's out of context. There's a difference. The same Bible that say don't judge other people says speak the truth in love. And just because I tell you the truth doesn't mean that I'm judging you. Lord have mercy. When I judge you, I discern your motives. When I judge you, I discern your heart. When I judge you, I discern your mind. When I speak the truth, I tell you the truth about what you're doing, what you're saying. Those are your actions. Woo. And I'm not judging you because I tell you the truth about your actions. I'm simply telling you the truth. Y'all ain't gonna like me this morning. We've normalized dishonesty. Come on. And because we've normalized dishonesty, that's the reason why dishonesty has become a part of what we run into all the time. We, as opposed to calling it a lie, we say it's my truth. You don't get your own truth. The truth is the truth is the truth. Lord have mercy. And anything outside of the truth is a lie. Another thing, reason why we are where we are, where this dating thing is concerned, is because we've confused intensity with intimacy. Listen, just because it feels strong doesn't mean it's safe. Just because it's emotional doesn't mean that it's healthy. And somebody needs to hear me when I say this. Just because it feels good physically doesn't mean that it's love. Woo. You got to stop confusing passion with love. So yes, dating is messy, but the reason why it's messy is because of how we're approaching it and how we're handling it. And so what we got to do is we have to apply wisdom so that we get rid of the confusion. How do we do it? Well, one of the ways that you do it is you don't deposit before you define it. I'm trying to help you. You don't deposit before you define it. Why, Pastor? Because if you define it, because whenever you deposit, your heart is going to follow. Jesus said, where your treasure is, your heart will be there also. And the more you invest, the more time you invest, the more attention you invest, the more access, the more talks, late night talks, the more emotional support, the more physical access you invest, the more money you invest, the more consistency you invest, the more your heart is going to follow. That's why people tell me, Pastor, I didn't mean to get attached. It just happened. No, it didn't happen. Attachment is not magic, it's math. You invested and your heart followed. Come on, somebody. And so now watch this. You ready? And the danger is you can end up in a place, you can end up where you have your heart in a place where it's not even welcome. Lord have mercy. You you invested so your heart went there. And nobody ever said that your heart was welcome. Why? Because you never defined what it was. That's why you don't give relationship level investment without relationship level definition. Am I helping anybody this morning? Let me say it plain. Make it clear and demand the clarity. Why? Because clarity is protection. And watch this, red flag when you run into the person who says that clarity is pressure. Clarity is not pressure, clarity is protection. When you ask for the relationship to be defined and you got a person who's, oh, why are you tripping? Why we got to define things? Why you being extra? Because people don't get hurt by betrayal. People get hurt by ambiguity more than they get hurt by betrayal. And the less clear you are, the more room you leave for ambiguity. And I need you to hear this. Don't allow people to tell you that you're being extra when you demand clarity around the relationship. This is not you being extra. This is you being mature. And if they are not mature enough to define the relationship, that's somebody that you really don't need to be investing in, because wherever you invest, your heart will follow. Jesus said, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Lord have mercy. So biblically, God is not calling you to be vague. He's calling you to be truthful. And you don't have to make a speech. It doesn't need to be a long, drawn out conversation. It's as simple as, hey, listen, what you looking for? Are you dating intentionally or are you dating casually? Are you trying to build towards something or are you just having fun? Are we exclusive or are we not? This thing we got going, like, what does this mean to you? And again, those questions are not doing too much. Those questions are you refusing, watch this, to allow your heart to walk into a room that it's not invited into. Woo! Y'all got to let me know if I'm helping. Heart follows treasure. Now watch this. Well, Pastor, if they say I don't know what I want, listen, if they say they don't know what they want, you don't shame them. That's okay if you don't know what you want. That don't make them bad. That just makes people human, and people go through seasons, right? That's not what creates the damage. Well, what creates the damage, Pastor? What creates the damage is when you say, I don't know what I want, but you still want somebody to give you what you want. I don't know what I want. but I still want you to invest. I still want you to invest your time. I still want you to invest your attention. I still want you to invest your loyalty. I still want you to invest emotional labor. I don't know what I want, but I want your availability. I want your body. I don't know what I want, but I know I want your body. Yee. I know I want your consistency. I know I want your money. Listen, don't tell people I don't know what I want while you're still asking them to give you what you want. Y'all ain't feeling me this morning. If you're unsure about what you want, that's okay. You have the right to be unsure. That's human. But here's the deal: what you don't have the right to do is to recruit somebody into your uncertainty, to allow somebody to invest in your uncertainty. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Come on. Because clarity is kindness, confusion is cruelty. Well, Pastor, what if I'm clear? What if I say up front, I just want company? What if I say up front, I'm not ready for anything serious? I hear you. I'm not here to shame you, but this would company without clarity is how you end up in confusion. Because the problem is not companionship. The problem is that too much company acts like commitment. And you can't call it company and expect commitment. Because now what you have is you've created a relationship in practice, but not a relationship in agreement. So if you say, I just want company, your actions need to match company. And this is where people get messy because company sounds light. But if it's just company, we got to keep it light. There's going to be no texting every morning. There's going to be no talking every night. There's going to be no seeing each other every weekend. What we're not going to do is act like we're exclusive when we have not defined ourselves as exclusive. Because now I'm investing too much without commitment. No, 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 no. Don't call me bae if you hadn't made it clear that I'm your bae. Don't expect loyalty from me. Lord have mercy. When you hadn't made it clear that you're giving me loyalty commitment. We're not planning no holidays. What you mean what we doing for Christmas? You going by your people and I'm going by mine. Because all of those things are investments that relationships get. Company don't get those kind of investments. Because God told me to protect my heart. I hope y'all getting this morning. When we say be clear, we don't just mean say it. We mean your actions got to line up with what you say. Don't say you don't want something and then act like you do. And then on the other side, single people, hear me, hear me, hear me. Don't allow yourself to attach to someone whose actions don't line up with what they say they want. Because that'll be the same person who tells you after you've invested and after your heart is attached, They'll be the same person that tell you, man, why you tripping? I told you what I wanted. No, 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 no. We want clarity. Your words have to define it, and your actions have to confirm what your words define. We want both and not one or the other. Now this where it gets real. You ready for this? Sometimes the issue is not that nobody defined it. Let's be honest. Sometimes they did define it. They told you, I just want company. They told you, I'm not looking for anything serious. They told you, I'm not ready. So where did it get messed up, Pastor? You treated it like a relationship anyway. Why? Because even though they said company, they were asking for relationship level things, and you didn't have the courage to say no. Whew. Because you were afraid of what you were going to lose. Lord have mercy. They said company, but they were asking for relationship level things like exclusive energy, like somebody to hold them down, like access to your body parts. Woo! So now you invested. Come on. Your heart followed, and now your heart started acting like y'all were married while their words stayed single. I'm trying to help you. Listen, if this is wisdom, if they define it as company, you got to treat it like company because you can't help it. It's going to happen. Your heart is going to follow your treasure. And if you invest like it's covenant, your heart is going to follow like it's covenant, even if they never agreed to covenant. So here's what you don't do: you don't upgrade the relationship based on their requests. Requests don't define relationships, agreements do. And where you messed up is you didn't get the agreement and you honored the request. I hope I'm helping somebody this morning. So what boundary do I put in place, Pastor? Here's the boundary. If they won't define the relationship, treat it like you don't have one. Not in a petty way, but in a wisdom way. Because here's what you have to understand. You ready for this? Here's what you have to understand. A refusal to define is a definition in and of itself. Whew. I'm going to say it again. A refusal to define is a definition in and of itself. If they won't define it, they're giving you the definition. Are y'all with me? That's why you don't deposit until it's defined. And you only deposit to the degree that it's been defined. We need words and action. We need both of them. What if they don't define it, Pastor? Don't invest in it. Don't give it daily conversation if they won't give you clarity. Don't give it exclusive energy if you can't get an exclusive definition. Woo! Don't give it boyfriend benefits if they won't give you boyfriend responsibility. Come on, somebody. Don't give it girlfriend benefits if they won't give you girlfriend definition. Don't give it spouse level access when they won't give you a spouse level covenant. Are y'all hearing me this morning? Because your heart is going to follow your treasure. And you don't want your heart to be in a place where it's not welcome. I need somebody to hear me. You can't call it casual and treat it like it's covenant. You can't call it company and expect commitment. You have, listen to me. You got to make up in your mind, there is no cheap rent in my heart space. You don't get commitment level access for casual level prices. Because access without commitment sets me up to be scammed. I'm going to say that again. Access without commitment sets me up to get scammed. And I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm not saying you would do it intentionally, but my heart is going to follow whatever I invest in. And God told me to guard my heart. He made me responsible of it and for it. And because my heart is going to follow whatever I invest in, what I'm going to need, come on, somebody, is I'm going to need to know that my heart is safe before I place my treasure. Lord have mercy, Jesus, in your hands. And listen, I'm gonna let you go. But this is why you gotta be careful with this. Because if you're not careful with this, time will pass. Your heart will get so involved. Your life will get so intertwined. Come on. That you'll get to the place that although you know you've made bad investment, your heart is so welded to the situation that you'll end up at the altar with somebody who's not there because they're committed. They're there because you're convenient. Whew. I'm going to say it again. You got to be careful with this. Because if you're not careful with this, your heart will be so invested in the situation and so connected to the situation. And you will have invested so much that you'll feel like I can't lose this even though I know I'm not in it right. And you will go to the altar with somebody who's not there because they're committed. They are there because you're convenient. They're not there because they've got a calling with you. They're not there because they're looking to build mission with you. They're not looking there because they're looking to build life with you. They are there because you make life easy for them. They're there because you make them look good. You make them comfortable. They're not there because of what y'all can build together. They're there because of what you're willing to build at no cost to them. Woo. I got to say it one more time. You will end up at the altar with somebody who's not there because of what y'all can build together, but somebody who's there because of what you're willing to build at no cost to them. Because you were willing to invest, Lord have mercy, without demanding any commitment. So before you give somebody a future, before you invest, come on, somebody, before you give your commitment, you make sure you have clarity. Make sure you have consistency. And make sure that your commitment is going to be met with reciprocity. We don't deposit before we define it. God is not a God of confusion. He's a God of peace. And we're going to date in a way that protects peace. So, Father, give us wisdom, give us courage, help us to define what's real, give us the discernment that we need to not invest in confusion. Guard our hearts and allow us to live and lead in your peace. We thank you for it. In Jesus' name, amen. I love y'all, man. I hope y'all know that. If you hadn't done so, if you would hit that share button, give us that thumbs up, follow us, man. Facebook, YouTube, follow us. And also support the ministry by financial investment. You go to communitych.com/give and do whatever the Lord tells you to do. If you say, man, I want to support Jumpstart, Pastor, just look for Jumpstart in the drop down. If you say, man, Pastor, I want to invest in your life, I want to give you, I want to sow into your life, you can do that as well. Just look for the place that says Pastor Support. I love each and every one of y'all. Hope you have an amazing day. Y'all hit that share button. And we're going to be right back here tomorrow, if it's the Lord's will, on Jumpstart Live. Blessings on you.